Chris Level here with another edition of Patriot Talk with my man Joe Sexton, the head coach of the Abilene Cooper Patriots. Quiet week this upcoming week, I guess, a bit. It's kind of a nice kind of take the foot off the gas for just a little bit. We'll get into a variety of things. But, Coach, you're coming off of a 63-0 win over Abilene Cooper. So I guess the best way to put that is who didn't play well.
I think we all did.
Yeah, everybody played well, coached well, played well.
I've kind of noticed this, and we talk about this quite a bit. Those players sure do make us better coaches. So the kids that, they just played so great.
Yeah.
We did. We executed a lot of things. There's a few things that we still have to clear up a little bit, and we're going to start doing that this week. But we were, as a coaching staff, we were very pleased with how we performed. So.
Yeah, almost to the point where it's like, okay, this is we gotta, we're gonna get some young kids in here because it kind of got lopsided in a hurry, and you just kept it simple. I mean,
Yeah, we tried. We tried to keep that score down as much as we could, but it was like sharks in the water when that ball was in the air. Those secondary kids were going after the ball as there were three of them around the ball sometimes. There was, you took my interception away, but they definitely wanted to go after the football, so that's good.
The Abilene Cooper quarterback, he just kind of throwing it up in the middle of the
Right.
middle of the field, that things that you just can't do against a good team. So you've got I want to talk about kind of some things leading up to that game here in a little bit, but now you go into kind of a bye week,
Right.
but your next week, which is the next game that you'll play, is a bit of a short week because it's one fewer day to prepare. Although I guess you'll maybe do some of that this week. But at Dumas on
/ Canada.
It's a long ways out there. At Dumas, so I guess a week from this coming Wednesday, and so that's some extra prep time for you. But it also kind of back off of these kids just a little bit,
right.
if they need it. There's a few that I think they probably need.
Well, we're going
all
to
the practice they can get.
Yeah,
right?
we're gonna back off of after school just a little bit. We're just gonna go an hour after school.
Okay.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Hopefully, it's done raining. I mean, well, I say that I don't want to ever not root for
don't
rain,
jinx
but
us.
it's been a mud puddle around here. I've witnessed what you guys had to endure, and your field was a bit squishy.
It was a lot squishy. So
Yeah.
no, it's we enjoyed the cool temperatures.
Oh, sure,
Man,
absolutely.
That was
Yeah.
really, really good. But
Yeah.
no, we'll back off just a little bit and kind of get back to some fundamental stuff that we probably need to brush up on and get a little extra conditioning in just to make sure we stay ready for next week. The big thing about next week, why we have this game scheduled was just for the mere fact of having to get on a bus and drive 3 hours.
Yeah.
We
Canada.
talked about it about how they a lot of our kids have never left town, and this is going to be a good test for us. Dumas is always a great team, well coached, very, very physical. So this is going to be a physical game for us. So that's a lot of the reason why we're going to back off a little bit and try to get some people bumps and bruises kind of healed up just a little bit. So like you said, we're going to play next Wednesday, so that'll be a short week for us. So we're going to try to knock out some of that stuff this week.
Yeah, Dumas has been really good for a long time. I know the Cooper Pirate varsity got after him, but it's just been a good program for many, many years. They graduated a ton of folks last year, but it's that'll be a handful. They have a brand and an identity with how they play. They play really hard. Leading up to last week's game, a couple things I want to ask you about. On one of the previous shows that we had done, you had people like me and dads come up with their youngsters and be a part of putting these helmets together. It was kind of a fun deal, and I think the message was about humility and about the disease of me and all those things. And then you bring the moms up. This last week, and you go over the rules with them.
Yeah, we had a.
Just kind of take me through having the moms come up.
Yeah, that was really fun. I think the moms enjoyed being a part of a part of the football
Sure.
team, and we fed them a little pizza, and we had Kelly Robinson come in, football official, come in and talk to him. Not only did he talk about rules, he kind of talked about just how important playing football is, and being a part of a athletic program that's going to prepare you for life down the road. People say it all the time that athletics is a mirror of your life as far as trials and tribulations and everything that's going wrong, and you just got to keep pushing through. So he had a good message, and then kind of talked to some rules, I guess, as far as officials go. And he said, I think one of the things that stood out to me, he's like, they always say officials are blind, and as he puts on his glasses and was reading. We had some of the moms submit some questions for him to answer as far as rules go, and I thought he did a really good job.
That's good. Yeah, Kelly's a good dude. We talked to him on one of these kinds of shows just to try to let people know that these guys are trying the best they can. But
yeah, they're human just like the rest of us.
Absolutely, and some of us make mistakes, some more than others. My man Colton behind the camera. He's the only guy that I know that doesn't make the mistakes.
Never.
But Coach Sexton and I, man, we step in it often.
Yeah, I'm daily.
Yeah, that's right. But we survive in advance, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And then we had the big pep rally.
First pep rally.
The inaugural. And my man Coach Sexton was given the mic. Yes. So no, but in all seriousness, that's a fun kind of together, everybody involved, student body, some second graders there, but just kind of take me through that. Event.
This summer we were sitting around talking about how we were going to do our pep rallies, and we came up with the idea of let's get elementary kids involved. Yeah. We're going to do all of our pep rallies. We're going to start having some elementary kids just because it just raises the fun level, having those little kids around. They got to hang around and eat lunch with the big kids, and it was you could just tell by looking at them how much fun they were having. Because I just remember going to pep rallies when I was a little kid, and it was great. Of course, we had our whole elementary, come watch.
Yeah.
There's no way we could do that, but kids had a blast, I think, and really watching our athletes interact with those little kids. Very proud of those guys, the way they talked to them. I saw a bunch of them going over during lunch, talking to the little kids. So it's because they're all going to be Patriots at some point. And one of the things that I talked about, I said, boy, when it gets finished, it's going to be an awesome place. And this little kid sitting right next to me looks up and goes, "It's already awesome." And just watching them have fun was really good.
And it's growing and being worked on as we sit here and talk, as a matter of fact. But it is just because a lot of your kids are not anywhere near done growing and maturing, and it's funny looking at those second graders looking up these people like they're the oldest, and they've still, they're still fairly young as a bunch of freshmen and sophomores. Fun deal. I know Principal Saffel involved, and you were involved, and it was just a fun deal for the cheer and the palm and the band and all those kinds of things.
And our band is just doing remarkable. There's not many of them, but if you read our
25, 35,
about
members?
30, I think. Okay. And just listening to those guys at halftime the other night, they were fully uniformed up, and I thought they looked great and really sounded good. They're doing great.
Synonymous, high school football and the band,
sure.
The yin and the yang, right?
And we're. Abilene Cooper High School has a huge band, and I think at some point we're gonna grow our band into large band also. So I think they've got a good start.
Yep, and I think you have a band spectacular coming up on September the 26th,
maybe
6th. I'm gonna go with that, and
yep.
If that's a mistake, then that's just one of the few that we've made today if we've said the wrong date. But talk to Nicole Baxter.
That'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, that will be. Yeah, she was talking about all the bands, middle school, high school, all that stuff perform on that night at Pirate Stadium. I think at like 5:00 on that particular Tuesday. We were talking about bye week and things like that. Are your like you mentioned the bus ride? One of the things you're having introduced to your players is that they've never really done before is like watching film.
Right.
And as part of the studying process, been kind of interesting to see how that has gone, because this is not something that you do in middle school
No.
or rarely would do.
They're learning. Coach Tolliver lets them know that there's certain things that we need to do, and Coach Newton, same thing. You know, a lot of times they just want to watch. It's like watching football on TV. You know, they're just watching. You know,
Following the ball
hey, you got hit really hard right there,
the
or
highlights.
yeah, just kind of follow the ball and see what's going on instead of watching their technique. You know, watching their footwork, watching their hand placement, stuff like that. But you know, if they get a little chatty, Coach Tolliver will eliminate a bunch of that really quickly. So they're learning how to watch film and try to get better after watching film.
Yeah, because if you want to play past this, it's not they don't ask nicely.
No,
it's part of the deal, and they track it how much you watch,
Right.
and then
Yeah,
if you don't know,
like on our huddle, you know, we can see who's been watching film and who hasn't been watching film. So.
Okay, yeah, there you go. And you know, yeah, like I said, if you don't watch film and then grasp it, it's not just about practice. Then
Right.
somebody else plays.
That's the short and long of it right there.
That's kind of how it goes. Like Bob Knight used to say, you know, he's like rear end meets bench meets rear end, and that's our relationship right
Yep.
there. You sit next to me. Real quick, golf team had a tournament this
Correct.
past weekend. I think did fairly well. Played
Yeah,
at
I
Shadow
was-
Hills and Lake Ridge.
Yeah, I was very pleased with those guys. You know, just freshmen and sophomores again, and I think there were over 20 teams at the LISD Invitational, and went in and got 5th overall. We had a young man get 6th overall, Reed Blacklock. Played really well, shot 74-71, and probably should have been under par both days. Had a kind of ran a wheel off coming in, but came back the second day. Played really well. So
Ran a wheel off. Tell me what this means.
that's an old Spike Dykes thing.
We got our ox in the ditch.
Yeah, we got our ox cart stuck in the ditch.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That was one of my favorite Spike sayings.
Tremendous guy. Yeah, it's funny that you'd bring that up. District play for Coach Anderson starts this Saturday morning.
Right.
That's
I think we have Littlefield coming in Saturday.
to Laura Bush. And prior to that, I think that her team's going to have a little inter squad in the Liberty gym. It's again bleachers being close to being delivered, and it's being worked on. But kind of take me through that.
Well, they were kind of prepping for the bleachers to arrive sometime this morning. So I was down there just a little while ago. Hadn't seen them yet, but by all accounts, they're supposed to be there today.
When an 18-wheeler pulls up, you'll know.
You'll know they're
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Probably going to take a couple of weeks to put them in. So I think they're going to start on our east gym first and then move over to the west gym. But she's going to have a little inter-squad scrimmage, have some of the parents come up and watch that hadn't been able to see the gym just yet. And I think they're excited about coming in and seeing that.
Okay, well, that's good. And then, you know, I know they had a big win over All Saints on Friday
night.
You know, had a tough one against Friendship previous week, and I was sitting there watching it because they had scrimmaged them some, and I think played them in a tournament and all that stuff and all that. But it's like, let's see, that's about close to 4,000 students versus about 300 student school.
A little bit of
little
difference.
bit different there, but they hung in there for a little bit. So I also wanted to make note of, you know, I mentioned the All Saints volleyball game, because you've been really encouraging. Everybody needs to come to everything.
Right.
Let's support, not just all the boys show up at just the girls' events, but we want the girls to show up at the boys' events and all that stuff. You were laying some trivia out.
Well, we have a teacher at Abilene Cooper High School who's very nice. He runs the 806 roll-up ice cream.
Okay,
and,
yeah.
Set up as a concession stand out there, and you know I saw some boys in the stand, so I thought, well, let's go ahead and try to reward some of those guys. So we bought some of the
Ice cream.
little coupons that he has, and threw out some trivia, and of course a lot of them were answering them on Sports U, and so I had to.
I know, you got to be present to win.
You got to be present to win. You got to be here watching.
I loved it because you had a Cowboy one and you had a Deion Sanders one. I think
Tried to be relevant.
okay, and I think 52-17 versus Buffalo.
Right.
In Pasadena.
That was her third Super Bowl.
It was, yes. And I just remember that. That was the answer to the first one. Whitney Houston was excuse me. Garth Brooks sang the national anthem. Michael
Wow.
Jackson was the halftime. And then here's the one that'll make you cringe. You know who did the coin toss? O.J. Simpson. Yeah,
Yikes.
that's right. Anyway,
Can we say that now?
Oh, sure we can. Yeah,
Okay.
It's 1992. He's playing golf somewhere right now. We're just talking golf tournaments. Totally
Right.
relevant. Yeah. Anyway, that was 1992 in Pasadena, and I think your Dion one was it Braves
Nope.
Falcons, or it was
the
Falcons
Yankees.
Yankees, and he was traded to Atlanta to make his
Right.
life. Okay, got it. Okay, so I would have
Yeah.
gotten that one wrong. No free ice cream for me.
Well, we had several of them. So, and then I had a couple left over at the end, so I let them. All right, if y'all can stump me with a trivia question, I'll give you out these last couple.
Okay, I think that stuff's great though. I think it's fun promoting attendance and making it fun for.
Well,
for
we
these-
talk about
these
all the
guys.
time. You need to be seeing your sports, you know, because I tell them all the time, you know, we could put something out there that's pretty important, and if you're not looking at it, you're going to
Yeah.
miss it. So as soon as I put out the free ice cream, man, everybody started looking at their phone.
Hello, here we
Hello,
go. Yeah,
this is
that's
important.
right. Because
So-
who doesn't love ice cream?
No, everybody loves ice
That's right. That's right. Well, so fun times. Construction ongoing. Little bye week this week. 4-0. I think the JV team is, and Caitlin Anderson's team will be rolling, I guess, into district. And now this is the first district real stuff
Right.
because your JV team is not in a district, but everything else is in a district and can get into the playoffs and do all
Right.
the things. So
You know, and we expect them to do quite well in playoffs.
I would think that
mean,
without applying too much pressure, I think that's probably a safe assessment.
yeah, they're really good.
Your golf team as well. I think that they might be onto something there. Was fun to talk to you. Enjoy some downtime this week. Not that it's really any
Well,
downtime.
we got a big football game coming up Tuesday night. We've got
yeah.
Cooper Middle School versus Laura Bush
Oh,
Middle
yeah.
School,
The intra
inter-school.
rivalry there. Is that kind of you want all your kids, their players there? Is that kind of like
I don't think we're going to have to tell them to be there. I'm pretty sure they'll show up. I know we had a scrimmage there last week, 2 weeks ago,
and there was I know
and we had a lot of kids there. So
my youngest was there, and I was like, "Where you been?" He's like, "Scrimmage," So yeah, there you go.
So real live game this week. 8th grade A and B are going to play over at the big stadium, Pirate Stadium, and then the 7th grade A and B are going to be over at Cooper Middle School. So it'll be fun to watch all those kids compete.
Sports. Yep.
It's fun to watch them compete.
Fun time of year. Hopefully, weather cooperates because I think a couple of those middle school games got canceled last
Yeah,
week. A little rain and
I think Laura Bush. Well, I think pretty much everybody got their game canceled on Tuesday for lightning and whatnot. So yeah, it'll be fun to watch them.
You've dealt with some of that lately.
Just a little.
It's so much fun. Yeah. It's like, can it just rain and lightning at another time? I need
Yeah,
to be outside right now. I've got all these people that I'm responsible for. We need to get some stuff done. Okay, well, that's been another edition of Patriot Talk right there. My man, Coach Sexton, mistake-free. I've botched it, and Colton Coons makes a lot of mistakes. See how we flip that and all that. And Colton tells me, don't wave my hands like I usually do and talk with my hands. So I've screwed that up as well. But we will talk to you again next week. Again, thanks for watching another edition of Patriot Talk right there.